I want to tell the story of the only barroom fight I saw, or I almost saw, because it sort of started, but then it didn't keep going, thankfully. uh, I have to make another. I have to make another guess here. At my age, I'm gonna have to say 8. Could have been 9. I don't think I was too much beyond that. The old man, Dennis Zoglman, his his screwed up idea of being a good dad was getting me in the bar room when he went to the bar. Sometimes if I was along, and you're supposed to be 21 to be in the bar room, so he'd be in the back room, and he would sometimes ask if I could get up in the bar room. I don't know what in the hell the point of that was, because you're sitting 10 feet away. Who cares? You're just in the other room, right through the door, and where the pool room is. Pool, like pool table, not a swimming pool, for those that don't know. Well, on this spot right here was the bar, one of the bars. So this was tore down in the early 90s, maybe 94, I think. At the time this happened, it had been, when I was a kid, it was owned, when I was a little kid, it was owned by the Zayer family. But the thing I'm going to talk about, it was owned by Ray Kelly and his wife, Ida. And Ida was in the bar that day. I don't think Ray was there. Well, so this old building was, you'd probably call it a saloon. It was sort of styled like a saloon rather than a more modern bar. And I think it was built in the late 1800s. I have some reason to believe that. Don't know. It'd be great to know the history of that. It had to be one of the oldest buildings in town still standing, I would say, at that time. Well, anyways, it went from the road out here. I was here when they tore it down, actually. I was sort of working on this building as this old bar room was being tore down. Anyways, it started at the front out here by Main Street, and it went back to about here where this blacktop piece is beginning, and it came out here pretty close to the highway, fairly close to the highway, over to that building, or not quite over that building. There was some stuff in between them, I think. Well, anyways, we're at the bar room, and I'm in the back room, and the old man, so he got me a hamburger, and so it was the old man, one of his main drinking buddies named Travis, and another buddy named Donkey, that they called Donkey. That was not his real name, but I think they called him that because of the way he laughed. And there might have been another guy, but I'm not sure. So anyways, the old man asked Ida if it was okay if I sat in the bar room. Now they're sitting at a table. They weren't sitting at the bar. They were just inside the bar room, like you go through the swinging doors from the pool room to the bar room. And so they were all sitting right at a table. So the bar is off to the right, and the door is, I'm kind of looking at the front door. Travis is sitting directly across the table from me with his back kind of to the door. And then the old man is sitting kind of on the corner of the table next to Travis, and then Donkey's sitting kind of off to my right. And I don't think there was another guy over to my right, I'm not sure. And the left side of the table, as I remember, was open. There was nothing there. I don't know why that was. I guess so people could walk through there. I'm not sure. So we're sitting there, and I'm eating my hamburger. And Donkey was a little bit drunk. My dad was pretty sober, and Travis was fairly sober, I think. It was kind of hard to tell. And Ida's over at the bar. Well, in walks two guys that I did not know, but Travis did know at least the one. It was a tall guy, lean guy, and his buddy was a short, stout guy. It was one of those deals, kind of like a movie or something comical. They walk in, and the short, stout guy, he's hanging at the bar. The taller, skinny guy, he sees Travis, and I guess they knew each other from somewheres. So he starts talking to Travis. And Travis is sitting in his chair across from me, and he's leaning back. He's kind of leaned back, like reclining, and looking up at the guy who he's talking to. The guy's standing there. And I don't hear what they're saying, and the rest of us are not really part of their conversation. Well, I don't know what was said or what they were talking about or anything like that. And Travis Travis liked to mouth off. He liked to say mouthy, smart-ass things to people, like insulting things. Kind of like, you're a stupid fuck, you're a dumb fuck, or you don't know what the fuck you're doing, or, that kind of stuff. So he might have said something like that. I don't know. I don't know what they were talking about, and I don't know exactly what Travis said. But the guy who's standing there, he flew into a rage at something Travis said, and he takes his right hand and he grabs Travis by the throat and pushes him back in his chair even more, like he's choking him and cussing him out, like, he's really, really mad. He's like, you son of a bitch, something like that. Well, in that instant, Donkey jumps up, like he's, and starts hollering. The old man jumps up, and he's trying to tell the guy to get off of him, and he's trying to kind of hold Donkey back a little bit. And also right at that moment, the short, stout guy who came in with that guy, he comes over with his arms out like gunslinger, like out to his side, like, I'm ready, like, who wants some, So the whole thing sort of explodes in an instant, and Travis gets choked. The old man and donkey jump up. The guy lets go fairly quickly. And then Travis sits there like, you son of a bitch, carried on. And so the tall guy and the stout guy, the short guy, the short stout guy, he comes over and he's like looking. He's his eye. He's like he's ready to go. He's gonna fight, fight for his buddy. And Ida comes over pretty quick. I don't remember. This is a little fuzzier here, but it sort of breaks up, and I don't know if they left or if they went to the bar, but then Ida, she said to the guys that, like, the guy who's standing there, to try to get them to, break contact and move away. She goes, the little boy, you're scaring the little boy. Well, anyways, and then I guess they walked away or left or something. So then everybody kind of settled down. And then Ida goes, he's not supposed to even be in here, in the bar room, pointing at me. So then the old man's like, go out there. So then I go, 10 feet away to another table just outside the door in the pool room. Like, boy, that makes a big difference, It's weird. You can get served alcohol in the back room, and kids can be back there, I think, as long as they're with a grown-up. It's sort of like, it's a weird thing. You're in a bar. It's just weird. But anyways, that was the closest of all the time I spent in a bar as a kid. That was the closest or most closest to a fight, a barroom fight, I ever saw or almost saw, however you want to look at it. Yeah. But, some of these assholes in this world, especially when they're in their 20s, because I think everybody's in their late 20s here except for me. There's some hotheads out there. Especially back then, they're sort of like ready to rumble, which I guess these days, with the street gangs and whatever you hear in the news, I guess the rednecks barroom fights are tame compared to what's going on the streets with a lot of this stuff in certain parts of the country. But there's some redneck assholes out there that are ready to rumble. So, especially back then, it seemed like. Yeah, barroom fights. Not a smart place to be. It's kind of silly. I never was one for that. I was in a bar, I think twice for a short time after I turned 21. And I think I just thought, what is this? Why am I here? What am I doing? What's the point in this? Right at that time, that was like on the very tail end when I was still drinking some beer, and I think my thought was, I could be sitting at home drinking beer, watching TV. What the hell am I doing sitting here? This is stupid. You pay more, and then you got to put up with a-holes that walk in. Why? What is the point? So I was always one, I'd just rather go hang out with myself. I mean, I can put up with myself pretty well. More better than I can put up with a bunch of assholes. You know, especially ones that want to explode and get mad and fight. There's just not much point in that.